first question will be, how do you feel about New Haven now?
I feel like New Haven could grow better if we just target our youth on like doing more of succeeding and taking their goals out and where they want to go at, and like not procrastinate with their goals that they're trying to go at. Just do it. Go at it and get it. Like I look at you guys as an example. Like you don't give up. You keep going, and you got your goal. And to see you graduate is a real big thing to me. Like I'm really proud and so happy for you that's you're a role model to the kids that's not doing what you're doing. You don't understand how much of a role model that you are to the kids that's not. You'll be surprised because I have friends that's my age that still doesn't have their high school diploma even, and they try to get a job in there with me where I'm at in Yale Hospital, and they can't do it because they don't have their high school diploma. So you're a real big influence that you could be to people that you don't even know how big of an influence you are.
Okay, the next question is, what do you feel the #1 problem is in New Haven?
Guns, keyboard.
Well, the #1 problem, look at the camera, look and see how it is.
Look and see how it is.
Well, the #1 problem with the schools now is like,
No, not with the schools, just with New Haven, period.
well, New Haven has like, we gotta have more for these kids to do. It's not enough for these kids it's not enough activities for these kids to do. There's nothing for them to do. Like, it's like they don't have nothing like this. Like, we don't have the excessive opportunity for kids, I feel. But I'm saying, but we are growing and we going in the right direction, but it's like the kids don't really have a lot to look up to here. It's really hard in New Haven. Like,
Okay.
they just need more for kids.
The third question is, what do you feel is one of the best things about New Haven?
One of the best things on New Haven, like, I know when you make it out of New Haven, you really made it. New Haven is growing in a big way. So that's good. Like, we just gotta get more positive and try to like reach these kids more.
Okay, I have a few more questions and then we're done. The fourth question is, have you ever lived or been in another state? If so, what differences do you see from that state in New Haven?
Oh, I see a big difference. I was in the military, so I lived in Virginia, I lived in St. Louis, I lived in Korea. And it was so much more opportunity for the kids. It was so much more for them to have, like, and they grow and to prosper. Like, it's just so much more. It's just so much more opportunity for the kids. There's so much more opportunity for everything, for families, period. When I lived in Virginia, St. Louis, and it was just so much more opportunity. And it's just not enough opportunity here for the kids, but we're fighting to make it right, I guess. Next question.
My name is Antonio Porto, and what I think needs to be changed or improved upon in the city of New Haven is just, I don't want to say enforcing the youth to be more strict, but just proposing more strict challenges in front of the youth to help them find more structure, more discipline, more guidance, and to keep them away from all the negative things that would end up pushing them down the wrong path, I'll say. I just lost my little brother recently to gun violence, and I don't want to see it happen to another kid out here in this city. I was born in this city, I grew up here, and I don't want to leave it like this. I want to see it be better. I want to see it improve, and I want to see people want to be better and want to improve for their kids and for their kids' kids one day.
What do you think that New Haven should look like in 10 years from now?
Realistically, it's just gonna have more Yale signs everywhere. But I feel that there should be, just like I said, more programs and stuff involving the youth, more centers for the youth, more basketball programs, you know, just sports in general. Also other avenues. Not every kid likes sports. Not every kid likes to get physical or aggressive and take out their aggression that way. Some kids like chess, some kids like to read a book. You know, we need more groups for that type of stuff, you know. Kids like games, find a ways to help encourage them when it comes to their gaming. I wish I had that growing up. People always used to try and sit there and make it seem like a bad thing when it ain't, because a lot of people could really make a living with that.
Hi, my name is DeVaro Taylor.
Whatever you want to say.
And I was battling substance abuse. And a few months ago, I checked into a rehab center, and I was diagnosed with anxiety. And I feel like me not knowing that I had anxiety was probably like one of the reasons why I was doing substances. And I just feel like everyone should just go see a doctor, talk to a therapist. I did all those things because mental health is very important. That I learned that.
What do you feel like New Haven need to change for the better?
I think New Haven needs to put more funding into the kids, more basketball programs, more boys and girls club. I think we should put money into community funding. We have a lot of homeless people on the streets, and it's really not a good look. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of empty buildings in New Haven to where we can put these homeless people. And some of these homeless people are veterans. And at the end of the day, we can put these homeless people into some of these buildings if New Haven, if we can get the grants and the funding to do that. At the end of the day, I'm a mother of a son who got killed in the New Haven streets. And at the end of the day, I wish that at the end of the day, I had a nephew who was a police officer or a niece who was a police officer. You get what I'm saying? I'm grateful to the police officers that we had. You get what I'm saying? Because they solved my son's case. But at the end of the day, we need to invest more into the kids. Because right now, with everything that's going on in New Haven, the kids have no outlets. They have no boys and girls club. They have no basketball clubs, football clubs. I mean, we got what we got, but we need just a little bit more. And that's just my outtake on what the funds can go to in New Haven.
So I would like to see New Haven invest more in the young people, invest in more career advancement programs such as like computer technology, trades such as plumbers, CDL drivers, truck drivers, and not doing more so the traditional thing of like college, because everybody doesn't go to college. So, a lot of young people are not going to do the traditional thing of going to a four-year college. So it's investing in things like trade school, computer technology programs. As we know, AI and web development and cybersecurity and things like that are pretty much taking over our world. So to invest in our kids is to invest in our future. And as we know, if we invest, you get a good return.
What would you like to see change in New Haven?
I would like to see more like community-based, really like trying to come together more, and more stuff for the youth, that they'll have more things that they'll be able to do, like Boys and Girls Clubs or any type of activities, or have something year-round that they can actually do like a field day, type thing for them. Because we got Chapel Park, I just see somebody got harmed in Edgewood Park on the other side of downtown. So there are a lot of parks that are very monumental and things that from my era, when I grew up, that could still be invested in and brought forward.
Well, what you see right here is two races getting along. And if I had $1 million, I would get rid of all the homeless people so I can create an organization so everybody else can come together and get along.
New Haven is an awesome place to live, but there are definitely some things that I would love to see improved. Accessibility of affordable housing, and I don't just mean building entire new units for people on Section 8 where they have to get on a wait list and wait for years. I mean, we need rent control in this city. We need rent stabilization. And I actually wonder why any entity is allowed to own more than 5 or 10 housing properties in the city. It ends up that we have a few companies with a monopoly setting rates that are really just unlivable for most people and who aren't already there. And some people are getting pushed out of their existing homes because their landlords are wanting to raise the rent. And where are people supposed to go? I've actually heard of people who work at our city's, I think, biggest employer. I won't name the university, but we can probably guess. Employees of this major corporation who can't even afford to live in the city where the corporation is housed because rents are just skyrocketing. And I really think that that is detrimental to the health of our economy and to the health of our community. And it may seem initially like a benefit financially to the city, but I think ultimately we'll see it will be highly destructive.
My name is Joe Janicki. I live here in New Haven, and what I would love to see in this area is the continuation of all of the great things that have been going on, like I'm a huge fan of the arts, and I know that in New Haven we have the Arts and Ideas Festival in the summer. That's great. Some things I would love to see improved were pretty much any city. You would want to see the people who are unhoused get housing. Yeah, basically, the social safety nets and things like that. I would love to see those improved on. I would love to see our tax money spent more wisely, but I am actually rather proud of our representation in New Haven currently. So like I said, I would love to see some of the good things continue, and I would love to see some things improve, but
Okay, where do you see New Haven in 10 years from now?
In 10 years from now, I would hope to see New Haven definitely climb that ladder of best cities in the state or in the country. I would love to see more economic. I would love to see people doing better in the city of New Haven in 10 years, and I hope that happens.
Hi there, my name is AJ. I'm an ethnic studies teacher here in New Haven. I'm Enebe's teacher. I have the privilege of teaching Enebe, and so helping her out with this project. I think my response to that, I've been thinking about chewing on the most in regards to how can New Haven be better, or problem in New Haven. I think there's too many police, like there's open policing, there just shouldn't be police in my opinion, but more connected to that is they make significantly more money than teachers and paras and so many other professions that contribute to the life and well-being of people, rather than protecting profits and property and committing violence in our communities. And so I think at a very practical level, I think police should be at least defunded, and less money should go to police and more money should go to mental health care services, social services, teachers, paras, childcare providers, things like that. So I think the funding issue is a big problem I'm addressing, as far as like the allocation of resources should go to better places. And so, yeah.
Hi, my name is Ashley David. I'm a teacher here at Metropolitan Business Academy in New Haven. And one of the things that I would change about New Haven, if I could, is that I wish that the schools had a lot more funding. I feel like there's a lot of really bright students and a lot of things that they could go and achieve if they had the opportunities to do that. And so just better funding for more classes, more activities, more things like that.
Unfortunately, I have a little record, so finding work is not easy. The good news is for me is canning went up to 10 cents, and I do it daily, and I make almost $80 to $100 a day.
Wow,
so
that's great.
But I currently reside at Rosette Street, Amistad.
Mm-hmm.
They help the homeless. Last year, I got there last year. They gave me a tent to put up in the backyard on Amistad.
Oh, nice.
On Rosette Street.
Yep.
And but a few a few people that probably shouldn't have been going there ruined it for a lot of people. So they kicked a lot of people out, took the garden away where we had the tents.
I heard about that story. It was in the news, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They have tiny homes made of, I would guess metal, but 4 units or single units, 2 doubles. I have one now.
You do? Wow, that's great.
But I'd like to leave there soon because, you know, I would like to go back to Columbus House, get a caseworker, and try to get Section 8 so I can get my own place.
Sure.
But doing this kind of work it's dirty, and a lot of people don't like you going through their trash. But I don't make a mess. I try to clean up after myself, but that makes it hard,
right,
to collect what I get.
And uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing.
And really, you're doing a service for the city. You're picking up all this trash.
Yeah.
And it's a waste of money that's being thrown away, right?
A lot of the cans, bottles that I find are in the trash.
Yep.
And a lot of money gets thrown away.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor in the city is fighting us. You know, they're trying to get eminent domain to take the property away.
Right.
And that's just only going to hurt people that are homeless. Because if they stop what's going on Rosette Street, where am I going to go?
Right.
You know, prior to going there, I was living on the street. You know, sleeping in bus stops. You know,
right.
Out in the woods.
In the cold.
In the cold. Winter time is the worst time. And now that it's warmer out, it's more tolerable.
Right.
Yeah, and everything's changed since COVID happened. The policies have changed. A lot of things are different now. It's a different world.
Yeah. So that's made it a lot harder since COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
What change do you want to see in New Haven?
Well, being a native of New Haven, there are so many things that I can mention. But working here at the New Haven Adult and Continuing Education Center as the family advocate, I would like to see more affordable housing. We need it. The unhoused population has increased in New Haven. We see more people from the outskirts, greater New Haven, coming to New Haven looking for housing, and we need to have more beds and more affordable housing after they transition from shelters to an apartment. We need more people to stand up in the community and to take vouchers for Section 8 so that we have people who have a place to go after they're dealing with being unhoused. So ultimately, I would like to see the unhoused housed. I would like to see our young people and our veterans receive bus transportation for absolutely free. We saw during COVID, it's necessary and they should continue that. So I would like to see more services for those in need.
My name is Benrisa Coombs, and I'm going to be interviewing Jeremiah today about some changes he would like to see in New Haven, Connecticut. So Jeremiah, what change would you like to see in New Haven, Connecticut over the next 10 years?
Probably the gun violence.
Why do you say gun violence?
And the drug problems. Because it's a lot. There's a lot of violence. Everywhere I live, there's gunshots.
What would you like to see in New Haven that you don't see right now over the next 10 years? If you have a magic wand and you could just wave it and something would appear in New Haven, what would one thing be?
Our crime rate, for one. It's extremely out the roof.
To reduce it?
Yeah, especially where I live. I live in the Hill, by like the Boys and Girls Club. And every day it's always either a stabbing, a shooting, or an overdose.
What do you think is being done now that's not being done well?
I mean, besides them putting up cameras, really nothing. I mean, they could put more cops on the streets and stuff like that, but even with that, the cops don't really help. They more so harass you than help you. I'm a I'm a witness to it all. I don't know. They're not really doing nothing about it.
What do you think is needed for homelessness?
We need more shelters because they're overpacked.
The shelters that exist now are overpacked, so more of those specific ones, right?
Even with shelters though, they only let you stay for a couple of days or whatever. I don't know, because there's way too many homeless people out here. I was homeless at one point, so I know how it goes, and it sucks. And not really having nowhere to go or turn to, it could take a toll. So.
And you also mentioned substance abuse. What's available now that's not working to curb substance abuse?
I mean, they have a bunch of programs and stuff like that, but with people having their addictions and stuff like that, you have to want the help. I feel like some people really don't have addictions. They just, I don't know, injuries can happen and doctors just keep prescribing certain, I don't know. So,
I'm interviewing Cherish today for the Be the Change project. So, Cherish, Natalie, what do you think should be changed in New Haven?
Well, I think like the streets should be changed, the respect, the opportunities.
What do you mean by the streets should be changed?
All the potholes in the street and how we're always seeing roads and messed up streets and stuff.
Yes, the potholes are so bad, very bad.
And like, like how we can not get apartments and stuff and everything's so expensive. We should cut down on the budgets and stuff. Make it
because it's already hard for us, and they need a little program for us youths.
So we can get on our own 2 feet and get life started.
Yeah.
Another thing, we need more jobs out here. The work is it's we need money to survive and to live, and it's barely no work out here. So how are we gonna make money? And that's why I feel that's why so many people just go with selling drugs and taking the easy way out or scamming and just doing dumb stuff because there's really no work. And then it's when you do work, you're working for a little bit of money,
and they don't give us enough good
it don't
job
be
opportunities.
enough. Yeah, it don't be enough.
Thank you for watching or listening to our 3-minute interview.
Yeah, we're gonna make a podcast show, and y'all gotta subscribe to it on YouTube.
Yep. So tune in, guys. See you guys later. Toodles.
Alright, brother, what do you see in New Haven? What is the biggest problems you think that you see in New Haven?
What I see the biggest problem in New Haven is homeless people. Homeless people, especially in a train station, they be sleeping there. And if I have all this money in my hands, I'll just create a place for them so they can just be, sleeping and all that, shelter wise.
Yeah, it was called because I used to, me and my mom, we used to be actually homeless, but we got blessed with actually staying in the shelter. And it was actually mad nice. And they actually gave us an apartment, bro. So I feel like if people see you in the shelter, they stereotype you all what I'm saying, they'll stereotype you, bro. Actually, bro, that was the best thing that happened to me in my life, because We're the Me, bro, they helped the program that we were in from the shelter, got us to an apartment in where I live right now. It's a mad nice apartment in Edgewood. So, there's definitely help out there, man.
So I've been living in New Haven since a while. So every time I pass through the downtown area, so I've seen a lot of homeless people moving around here and there. So what I think is government can spend their money effectively by providing them shelter along with few jobs. For example, government can spend money or pay them for them to collect all the trash and dispose of in the right place. So that can help the person as well as to keep the city clean. So rather than just giving them money because they can get back to the same old addictions what they have. So that's one way for the government to spend money effectively.
And what are your thoughts on the cost of living?
I think New Haven is fairly in the right bracket compared to other cities. So I've been to a few other places as well. So the cost of living is quite expensive out there, but I think New Haven has a good budgetable or effective cost of living for people living out here. So
Yeah.
I think I'm happy living in New Haven City.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Alicia. I started here back in 2009 and I never actually finished. So recently, a year and a half ago, I came back to adult ed and started my classes. I'm almost graduating next semester. So, you know, I'm engaged, I'm going to college, and we both, me and my fiance, are buying a house. You know, it's been a good experience with adult ed, with the counseling and the teachers. They all been good to me, and anybody that needs to take this opportunity should take it, because you will regret it in the future, and it's never too late for you to do what you want to do and fulfill your dreams.
Over the years and living in Connecticut, what do you feel like the state should fund? What do you feel like we need more resources in?
Oh, definitely homelessness. I think that the state can use more resources for homeless adults and homeless kids. That's a big problem for such a rich state. Connecticut, the last that I checked, Connecticut was like the 6th richest state in the union. And over the years, who knows, we may be further up there, but being a affluent state the way that we are, the rate of homelessness should not be as high as it is. So I feel like that right there is something that they should really work on and focus on.
For me, all right, so what's something that you see every day in New Haven that you don't want to see in a couple of years?
Pollution. I see a lot of pollution.
My name is Valerie Rivera. I'm a 2021 graduate. I just came in to say thank you for everything that you guys have done for me, for all your support. I'm actually driving big rigs now, and I'm going in to train to be a correctional officer. And you know, I just wanted to say thank you for everything. So I've been around the country. I've been to 6 states actually right now, and I've only been driving for about 4 months. So it didn't take long. It didn't take a lot of money. You know, you can do it. You know, everybody, you know, has setbacks, but you got this. But yeah, initially I wanted to do the correctional field, and I just needed to get my diploma, and that was the goal. So I got my diploma now, and I'm going in to get the correctionals, and hopefully, you know, in the next year I can be a sergeant.
Okay, so my name is Alexandra. I've lived in New Haven for 7 years, and I would love to see more equitable distribution of housing in New Haven. We see a lot of luxury apartment buildings going in, and they're supposed to have subsidized housing, but they only keep a couple of units, or it's more than what people get Section 8 housing for. I know it's very, very difficult, but there's never enough housing for the homeless during the summertime, wintertime, and all year round. And then the emergency overflow shelters close in May, sometimes even earlier, and then those people are out on the streets. So I would love to see more resources going towards that. I know it's a complicated question, but yeah.
Yes, hi. I would like to see a difference in New Haven, where the children could come out and play without no gunshots or getting beat up. And I would like to see that everybody could find their place where they're going, like the homeless people out here, and I would love to see somebody come and help them, and help us all. But what are we doing?
What would you like to see in New Haven, and what's the poster about?
Well, the poster is about 3 people getting along with them having different backgrounds, like poverty and crime. I feel like that when people get together, they could build a better community together. If I were to have $1 million, I feel like that the potholes in the city should be fixed and homeless people should have a better place to stay.
What do you feel is one of the best things about New Haven?
The food, because I'm fat. I like food. I love food.
Okay.
And I love banana pudding.
Okay.